everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Superkickin' with Steven. Sorry for the week off last week, but we are back, ready in action. Greg will try to join us as soon as he can. As soon as he can. Uh, he's just off work, trying to rush home, get posted up, and we'll catch him when he can. I've put up the bat signal to some other network fellows to see if they could join us here as well. But for the time being, you got me in all my glory, talking up what has happened, recently in the worlds of AEW and WWE. So let's just kind of kick it off right here with the newest signing of AEW happened Wednesday night. This is official. Saraya, formerly Paige in WWE, is the newest woman signed to AEW. And yeah, that's a big signing. It'd be really interesting if she brought a couple other women of name, as we have not seen them on WWE yet, but still thinking Saraya is a big name. Maybe Naomi and um, Sasha join her as they can, but we shall see. So right now we do have Saraya in All Elite Wrestling. The next step I want to see is if she's medically cleared to compete. She's saying don't believe the dirt sheets, of course, because why would she admit to not being medically cleared? But I would think she wanted sign and wanted show up if she wasn't medically cleared. So yeah, a lot of good stuff there to see what she'll do and how she'll kind of fit in. Good for her for jumping in, trying something different. Go to another company and see what she could do there. I think backstage she could be a lot of help, and in the ring, of course, a lot of help. So this is huge for them, and this is probably the momentum that AEW needed after the last couple of weeks, and still the idea that we don't know what the status of Punk is. They haven't really even mentioned the suspensions at all. Other than just hey, we're getting new champions. So yeah, just a weird time right now in AEW, but we will see Saraya. Sorry, it's gonna be hard to call her Saraya, but that's her name. So in AEW, and yeah, I want to kind of see where she'll fit in and how she'll do, and whether she can help this women's division finally start making those strides that we keep thinking they will. The other news of note, kind of happening over the past couple of weeks, was this crown jewel main event. So we're gonna get Roman Reigns and Logan Paul. Yes, Logan Paul. You hear the name Logan Paul and you hear WWE Universal Championship title match, and you're thinking, what the heck are we doing? But part of me thinks, you know what? It's that crown jewel, which is in Saudi Arabia. Why not? I mean, get all the press you can over there, get a lot of attention there, and yeah, Roman's going to roll him. Roman's going to win. But right now, we've rolled through Drew. You're not going to throw Braun at him yet. Braun just kind of showed up. What else? Do you maybe give Kevin Owens a shot? Doesn't look like. Orton isn't back. Riddle's had his chances. Who else? Seth freaking Rollins is there. I feel like Seth is just flying under the radar, and do you throw him at Roman eventually? But if that's the case, I think Seth, somebody needs to beat Roman. I mean, I feel like the history's already been made with him. What is next for him to do? So him and Logan Paul, it's probably not going to be the best match. Let's face it. A lot of hitting, a lot of finishers by Roman. But it's going to be something to watch, I guess, to kind of see how Logan Paul holds his own against Roman. Is this really a step to see where Logan Paul really fits in the grand picture of WWE? Multi-year contract and all this stuff. So kudos to him. I mean, he got a championship match of this caliber against literally the top dog of all professional wrestling right now. Moxley's probably a close second, but Roman is the king of the mountain right now. And, if we could somehow get Moxley and Roman with the way that they're both performing now, that would be something to see. So, that would be quite the Survivor Series if you could somehow do that. But we got Roman and Logan Paul set for Crown Jewel Saturday, November 5th, and it'll be a spectacle. That's pretty much what there's to say about that. So, those are my big news and notes this week. Let's get a commercial break out of the way and get into Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. We're officially, back into NXT, no 2.0, and kind of seeing where NXT can go now. So, let's take a quick commercial break and get right into Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. So what has happened on Raw? We kicked off right away with a match. It's not often we get into Raw. We usually get a promo. We usually get long-winded stuff to kind of set up the night. This is just all about Bobby Lashley, Seth Rollins kicking it off tonight. I mean, just another. Is there? We keep saying Seth Rollins, Seth Rollins. I mean, I know he hasn't won a lot, but man, he deserves a lot of credit for just the in-ring work he's done this year, and the character work he's done, and just his overall persona, just carrying that load, as it were, being really like a lot of people say workhorse. I think that definition right now belongs to Seth Rollins, with as well as he's performed. Lashley picks up the win. Not really sure where we're headed next for Lashley. That's probably the tough thing. I don't know where you want to go next with him. As far as Rollins is concerned, we're going to get him and Matt Riddle in a fight pit match at Extreme Rules. Now we're bringing that to the main roster. We've seen a couple of them, I believe, with Riddle down in NXT. Him and Timothy Thatcher put on one. I thought he did something. He fought somebody else, but maybe not. But Riddle picking up the win in his own match probably should be happening, and then we'll see what the trifecta could be for both of them to kind of finish up this feud and see where both guys can go. Maybe Riddle beating Lashley for the U.S. title would be something, but right now, like I said, I'm not sure where Lashley can go as far as who's next for him. So, Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss interrupted Damage Control's celebration. We had a good, little fun celebration going on. A lot of mic work from Dakota Kai and Io Sky, which was good to see. I think they need, let them talk some and let them have some mic time, just kind of build them up as well. Pretty much just led to Bayley and Alexa Bliss. And Bayley picks up the win at the end of the night. And now Bayley will challenge Bianca Belair at Extreme Rules. I don't believe this will be Extreme Rules match, since we're getting that on the other side of the coin. Liv Morgan and Ronda Rousey are, going to have that on their own. So just a straight up match. Probably, Bianca winning. Do you probably maybe want to put the title on Bayley, and then that gives them all the control. And then when you have Sasha and Naomi show up, then you really have something there, especially if they kind of back up Bianca somehow. I think that makes the most sense to go there. So maybe Bayley, getting the win at Extreme Rules, grab the title, and letting Damage Control truly hold all the gold is the way to go. Kevin Owens defeated Austin Theory. Gargano here was playing a role in this match. Him and Theory and Gargano probably should have a match soon at Extreme Rules, happen in a couple weeks. Do you put the briefcase on the line? I don't know. And then then you look at the other side of the coin. Kevin Owens is kind of in the Bobby Lashley territory as well. Just putting on good matches. Nothing really there definite for him though. So you've got to wonder, what's next for Kevin Owens. Ultimately, I still think him helping out Sami Zayn when Sami Zayn finally gets the boot from the Bloodline is where we need to go with that. And Zayn and Owens, beating the Usos would be the whole effing story, full circle there. I think that would be something to watch. But Theory and Gargano, one-on-one should be a fun kind of series of matches. See if the briefcase ever gets on the line. I don't think I want Gargano to hold it, especially because I think we're still predicting that the Theory cash-in is going to fail. So we'll see where we go with things there. Brawling Bruce defeated Street Profits. We're really seeing Brawling Bruce pick up some good wins, getting a lot of momentum. Still hard to tell if they're a face or heel. I think Sheamus is getting a lot of love, and so maybe that's turning them face by default. I think people love the Butch character, so why not? And Ridge is just kind of there, but Street Profits are fine. They'll pick up wins when they need to. I think them and Hit Row is eventually a feud waiting to happen, and see who will get the better end on that exchange. So the Judgment Day defeated Rey Mysterio and Matt Riddle. Are we going to see another match between the Judgment Day and Rey Mysterio and somebody? I mean, could you do Mysterio and Owens now? Maybe, but I saw a rumor that maybe Finn Balor and Edge will do an I Quit match at Extreme Rules. I'm down with that, especially if Finn picks up a good win at a pay per view. It's been a long time, I feel like, since we've seen Finn pick up a win there, but I would definitely try to do that. And Dexter Lumis once again trying to abduct the Miz. Do we see Ciampa and Lumis go at it Extreme Rules with the Miz? Maybe if Ciampa wins, maybe if Lumis wins, Lumis gets 5 minutes or something like that with the Miz, but I think we're going to get Ciampa and Dexter Lumis first, kind of defending the Miz, and then we'll see if we get the Miz and Lumis down the road. But Greg hops on, we can kind of catch up his thoughts as well as soon as he can. Next up, how about NXT? Really starting a new, fresh coat of paint in a way. We've already got it right away. They had Shawn Michaels there earlier in the day talking to Solo Sikoa and Carmelo Hayes said, hey, Solo wasn't supposed to be in that match, and he's got to relinquish the NXT North American title, but he's not going to give it right away to Carmelo Hayes. We're going to get a North American ladder match because NXT loves their ladder matches, so we're going to get that at Halloween Havoc, and I assume Carmelo Hayes will be in there. We also saw Oro Menesh pick up a win over Grayson Waller. You know what? I was kind of thinking this out loud, or thinking about this today. I'd really like to see Grayson Waller grab that title. Maybe there's a last chance match that Grayson Waller sneaks in and climbs the ladder at the end of it and grabs the title, because he really needs something right now to kind of get some of his momentum back. Unless the NXT brass doesn't believe in him, and he's kind of falling down that ranks right now. But Nathan Frazier defeated Axiom. I still wonder if Axiom will get the best of this, and I still think we'll see a tag team because of it, which is fine. I think NXT can use some tag teams, so why not let these two guys who seem to have some good chemistry together on screen, obviously can work together in the ring. We'll see what they could do as tag team, but I think that's where we're going with that. Toxic Attraction picked up a good win, finally picking up a win after a little bit of time. How about Schism? I believe there's a little, exchange with some masked figure. Could that be Cameron Grimes? Could that be somebody else? I would assume it's probably Cameron Grimes, just showing up in these hooded figures, kind of being under the tutelage of Schism and, Joe Gacy. The Dyad did pick up a good win there. Cora J defeated Wendy Chu. I want to see Cora Jade and uh, Roxanne get some sort of stipulation match. Maybe a Halloween Horrors match where they spin the wheel and you pick a match there for Halloween Havoc. How about Chase U picking up a big win over Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams? It's probably a fluky win, but one that they needed, I think, to kind of get their momentum, somewhat on the right page. Von Wagner picks up a win. Who cares? Senga now is teaming with Veer Mahan on NXT, kind of live circuit. So seeing how that tag team will mesh together, I think that says a lot for Veer Mahan that he's down there now. And how about JD McDonough picking up a win over Tyler Bate? But we saw Dragunov show up. So all the former NXT UK guys are just showing up to, go after Braun. I think that's saying a lot about the talent right now, in NXT that we're kind of, shifting these UK guys in there. I just think it's a little rough because, like Tyler Bate loses already a couple matches, and where does he go from there? So uh, you can only do it so much, but Braun pickup wins is good, and I still think Braun Breaker probably on the main roster sooner rather than later. I think the time's there. Let somebody else carry the torch, and we'll kind of see where things go there. So yeah, so that was NXT kind of in a nutshell as well. How about SmackDown? Probably the best segment of the week was this whole segment with the Bloodline, Solo acknowledging Roman. The Bloodline starts to leave, and Sami Zayn's got a few words to say. He wants to acknowledge Roman as well, and Roman, wants Sami Zayn to listen and take off that shirt. He kept saying. Unfortunately, Jimmy had to help him take off the shirt, and we were thinking, oh, here it is, here it is. But Sami Zayn has the official shirt that says honorary Us in the, Samoan lineage, shirt style. And now Sami Zayn is officially the bloodline until he gets kicked out. And I think that's coming sooner rather than later now that they got the shirt because that tends to happen. So Liv Morgan, how about Liv Morgan showing another side of her, this, extreme style, going against Lacey Evans, picking up a good win, laying out her body, hand out some kendo shots, and showing that she's ready for Ronda. I think going 3-0 against Ronda would be something to watch. So we'll kind of see if that's going to happen there at Extreme Rules. Next up, how about New Day picks up a win? Maximum male models falling apart with Max Dupree. Obviously, we're getting LA Knight back, and the sooner that's happening, the better for him. And I think that's coming down the pipeline, and Greg will be happy about that. And we'll kind of see where LA Knight's going to be positioned after that. So Braun Strowman picked up a win. We also have Sheamus announcing that he wants a rematch here in a couple weeks against Gunther on SmackDown. I think that's going to be our main event. Probably would be touted as the season premiere. Usually in October, I feel like we get that season premiere of SmackDown. So that'd be a good kind of main event to kick off there. And does Sheamus finally turn the tide against Gunther there? So how about Drew McIntyre and Karrion Kross in a strap match? We thought Gunther and Sheamus was going to be rough. I think Karrion Kross and Drew are going to bring it with that strap match at Extreme Rules. It won't be long, but it's going to be something to watch, and we'll really see where Karrion Kross is positioned. I think him picking up a win over Drew would really give him a good edge on there. So Raquel Rodriguez defeated Dakota Kai. Shotzi came out to the save. Raquel, and we're going to get Shotzi and Bailey. Maybe Shotzi gets her, tank back and kind of gets her old persona back to kind of go on that end. So we'll see where that's headed towards that. Other than that, what else happened? Oh, and then the Usos picked up a win over Brawling Brutes. Imperium showed up again. Give me all the Imperium and Brawling Brutes all of that, all the time. I think that's a match we'll keep watching. I think that's fun to see those guys just mix it up. So, yeah, that's kind of WWE in a nutshell. Let's do some elite performance talk. Kind of see if Greg is able to make it here in the next few minutes and keep rocking. Alrighty, and AEW happened this week. We had Grand Slam happening there at Arthur Ashe Stadium. A couple title changes to bring up. Jericho defeated Claudio Castagnoli, sorry, to win the ROH World Championship, his first ever ROH title. He's officially 8-time champion across the board. You do wonder if this means that there's some sort of TV time in the works for ROH, putting Jericho as that champion, giving him a face. The Jericho Appreciation Society desperately needed something to kind of get me back in their good graces. I think this is it. Sammy Guevara picked up a win later on Rampage, so they're getting some momentum with the top two people. Angelo and Magic Mike or whatever. They're there just to pick up losses, but Jericho and Sammy Guevara obviously positioned as the top guys there, and Jericho beating Claudio, win an ROH World Championship. Like, whoever would have thought this? Jericho never spent time in ROH, but picks up a win in his first championship bout there. So, how about the acclaimed? The acclaimed pick up some win, well deserved. I mean, just a year ago, the acclaimed were just treading water, if they were treading water, and now here they are, probably the most over, just the most over team, and really having fans support them in the right ways. So, Scissor Me Daddy, whoever would have thought that'd be something we'd say, but there it is. And Swerve in Our Glory, a little, miscommunication. Do we finally get that breakup of them and, let Keith Lee, let Swerve Strickland trying to, finally fight it out and see where that goes? And yeah, we'll keep rolling there. Pac defeated Orange Cassidy. Man, when is Orange Cassidy going to win a title? I believe he's 0-8 now, or 0-7 in these title matches. So I guess when he does win, it's got to be a big deal, though. When he does win either the TNT title or, I don't think he wins I don't think he ever wins the World Championship, but, TNT title or Trios Championship or Tag Team Championship, there needs to be a really big, asterisk next to that, really big pomp and circumstance. So, Saraya did make her debut after Storm. Tony Storm defeated Britt Baker, Athena and Serena Deeb to retain her title. The big story here is Britt Baker breaking her nose again. Not sure if she has the most fragile nose ever or what, but the second time now that Britt's had a little, nose incident, so hopefully her nose is okay. And finally, we did see Jon Moxley submit Bryan Danielson to win the title. It's all about MJF. He's got to cash in that championship, that Casino Battle Royale thing, chip, and get MJF the title. So I think that's where we're headed there, sooner rather than later. And finally, Rampage, just some winners here. Sting and Darby Allin picked up a win. We are going to see that Buddy Matthews now is set to take a little time away. You do wonder if Matthews will find his way back to WWE with, Malachi Black at some point. Hook picked up the win. Samoa Joe picks up the win. and Wardlow. Jungle Boy picks up a win. Sammy Guevara picks up a win. I think that's huge for Sammy Guevara there, just to kind of move the momentum back in his direction. Jade picked up a win, and Hangman Adam Page gets a win in the Battle Royale. And how about Ricky Starks picking up a win? I really like to see, what Hangman Page can kind of do without anybody on his side, and Ricky Starks pick up a win. So, yeah, we'll just kind of see how things go there. That's all I got. I think we're just going to kind of call the show and let Greg catch up back with us next week. I'll kind of get up with him and let him know what happened and all that. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for catching up, and we'll get right back to you guys next week.